Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Be ready in about 3 minutes. Testing 1 2 3. All right, thank you, background music. I appreciate it. If you're with me, thank you very much again. I appreciate your time. Time is very valuable, and at the same time, we're all kind of stuck doing the same thing pretty much, which is waiting for a silent killer to show up. It's pretty much what it is. That's just as honest as I can be, and we're starting to see the realities of it with the reports. If you've caught Democracy Now! Or any news report today, you understand as a New Yorker, we lost 86 people yesterday. 86. The numbers just keep going up. As we know, Asia knows that, they're hoping to hit the peak and then come back down. They're actually doing a lot better. I'm not for sure how long it's going to last out there, but I hope it is over so that it can keep working its way this way. So I do appreciate you being with me right now. I really was not going to get to do this at all today, but it hit me last night when I heard more of Italy's numbers, Spain's numbers, even in the UK, Ireland's going through it. It's just so sad. And doctors and nurses, as I said before, they're really starting to see what it means to be powerless. And it's just a sick feeling. Sick. So I promised everybody, if you did check this video out, right off the bat, I was going to hit you with a blockbuster. Then we're going to go into the topic of this particular question that I put to everybody yesterday. Rather, you've seen this on LinkedIn, so if you did, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you caught it on Facebook, right now we're trying to live stream this to Facebook and also to my YouTube channel. Either way, just in case we get lost and we get disconnected with the live stream, it is being recorded, and so I will upload it if I have to, if the stream quality is not as good as I want it to be. Sorry for a little bit of the background static behind me though. I'm an old guy trying to do this, and I had it, someone sent me an email and asked the question, why are you doing this? Why are you asking these questions and going down this road? Well, if you've been to my channel, if you've been to some of the videos that I put together thus far, you know my motive already. It wasn't just the coronavirus thing. It was something deeper than the coronavirus, believe it or not. The only other thing deeper than COVID-19 for me is trying to find my family tree, who we are as a people. And if you've seen some of these videos already, I didn't just stay on, who my people were trying to be or who they were, or I go down the ones that we know. The one calling themselves the Jew, the one calling themselves the Indian. I go through all of them because I need to know. I need to know. And if they're not who they say they are, then how can we believe who they tell us we are? How can we believe it? Nope. Can't, because the older books that were just before the Bible was written tell the truth on everything. In fact, their Bible came from these books. These books are found in Yale University, a lot of these different colleges, but then there's some in the Vatican. They're all over. It's just you don't know. And I've been very fortunate to find two in particular books about 6 months ago, and I jumped in with both feet. I had to look and search, and that's what I call the rabbit hole. So I did a lot of reading, a lot of no, they can't be possible, no, they can't be right, and research until you finally realize, if you're looking at something and calling it green and then you realize it is green, then you're right. It's that simple. So I look in the background, and I know it took me 5 minutes or so to get with you guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to hit you with a blockbuster first. Then I'm going to take a little break, because if I don't take these little breaks, it's so easy to lose your mind with all this. And we're already confined to our properties, our homes, our... and so for some people, one room, I mean, this is just a very sad, strenuous thing that we're going through. And I wondered, you know, is this scientific? Is it something that was done on purpose? Is this something that's accidental? You know what? They're saying that the COVID came from a bat. So, like I said before, it kind of makes you think of the whole Batman movie series, the more recent ones, the last three, and you think to yourself and you say, man, he's the Dark Knight Rises, and you're thinking about all those things, trying to keep it out of what the Bible claims, and the whole Armageddon and all that other stuff, and then you realize, wow, it wasn't just the Batman TV movie stuff. You got it in books, you got it on the movie screens, you got it everywhere. So, do they all have the same story, or is it just you? Is it just me? Is it just, don't know. See, you can keep saying something's not true until there's too many things proving it to be true. You have to call it true. That's why they tell you that you only can understand some of these things if you are of what they call the elect. So they don't have to tell you the truth behind what they're telling you as truth. It's that simple. Rather, you want to label that as conspiracy. Look, I've said it before, I will say it again. Conspiracy is bullshit when they conspired against you. Period. Right now, we are all scratching our heads because we can't figure this COVID out. We can't. We supposedly had other coronaviruses, and that's why they gave us the flu shot to help fight it. But this particular one happens to be a beast, isn't it? It just happens to love drinking blood, taking souls. It just happens to be connected to a bat, which, if you think about it, you have what? Dracula, who could turn into a bat, right? If you want to go there seriously. See, we don't know the powers that are behind all the things that are considered as shadow government or hidden hand, as I exposed to you guys before. My job is not to act like I'm a teacher, act like I'm a preacher. I'm just a researcher. I have to research. And in my researching, trying to find my people, I have ran into some things that is saying something totally different about what we know and what we were taught. And that is the conflict. So I figured I'd help myself out by putting some of these videos together. So whether you're watching these or not, if this is my conviction for myself, because I have to hear myself research and try to get someplace. And I love and enjoy all your comments, believe me, and I respond to almost every last one of them. And if you've got ideas and concepts or even books that you've found and said, hey, maybe you should take a look at this too, because I'm all ears. Because there's has to be a name, there has to be a power, and there has to be a reason. Because I'm not like everybody else. I'm the type, I'm going to tell everybody right now, whether you like me saying this or not, I'm the type that has said before to God, and I don't know his true name, I just know what his name is not. All these other gods are just part of a pantheon, including their Jehovah or Yahweh or whatever you want to call him. I prayed to him millions of times from the age of like 5 all the way to 27. I have not prayed ever again when I left. I haven't. I turned 48 on Monday. I feel in my heart that if there really is truly a God, and he's allowed all these things, not just to happen to my race or my people or how it went down, but even to what's going on today, then to me, he is the devil. that simple. See, because you can't take credit for creating life and creating mankind or man and woman as perfect, but then let a so-called adversary pop itself off in the same garden where you put your valuable things and see what he does with it? Are you kidding me? So that story had to finally prove itself to be bullshit. So, Harry, what are you trying to say? I mean, everybody knows it's Adam and Eve. Let's punch everybody in the mouth once and for all on the whole Adam and Eve thing first. Then I'm going to punch you in the mouth about what I discovered with the so-called Jews. And like I said before, my patent attorney is a Jew. My business partner is a Jew. I have nothing against Jewish people at all. I have a problem with any and all races that destroyed my people. That's what this is about for me. Now, whatever you find while I'm searching, I pat you on the back. I pat you on the back because, like I said, the only escape we have from any of this shit, any of it, is to say to ourselves, I didn't ask to be born, but I'm very glad I'm here. Because if we go at things that way and find out that all the so-called truths they gave us was a bunch of bullshit, that we've all been worshiping the same beast, the same gods, and going to the same ship, but you didn't give us an opportunity to choose, that damns you, not me. You. So you can either continue to be damned or say damn to the damned. That's what I meant to say. This is serious. I'm sorry for giggling there, but I mean, this is some sick shit. It's some sick stuff that they've done to all of us. And I apologize. I'm going to try my best not to swear that much, believe me. But we gotta punch these guys in the mouth first. Just to let them know that we see their evils. We know what they're up to and what they had the power to do and have been doing this whole time. When you understand it, you take 3 steps back and you grab your family, you hug them, you tell them you love them, and then you stand in front of them and stand up for all of them. That's all you can do. So that went a little far already. We're already into 23 minutes into this stream. I don't like to waste anybody's time. I just had to open up with that because when you get this first blockbuster, you're going to be like, oh my God. And then when I show you what it really means to pray and be spiritual beings, you can understand why we've gone through earthquakes, pestilences, death. Our world loves death, blood, sacrificing, altars. They love it. They get their kicks on it. It's just sick. So I have to take 4 minutes right now. I apologize. I hope you stick with me in this video, but I have to take 4 minutes because I left my dog outside, number 1. Number 2, if I don't have my drink going on in the right way, man, I get too in. And I don't want to get too in because it's so easy to flip. And it's about trying to keep a level head with all this because, you don't know who you're going to touch and who you're going to, excite to the point where they research it themselves. That's what it's about. I don't want you to listen to me. I just want you to look at me showing you where to look. Because once you've had enough, you had enough, no matter what. No matter what. And right now, if you have to be crazy not to have had enough with the death that's already taken place with this COVID-19. It's an entity. Why don't these doctors and these science dudes talk about that? They're just saying, "Oh, it's a virus." Look, it has the power to kill. Can we put it in jail? No, we can't even touch it. We can't even see it. But they showed us what it looks like underneath a microscope, right? When I'm done with this, there is absolutely no escape for any of these goons. We just want the goons to know that we know. I just want them to know that we know. We see you. We see what powers you. We see what possesses you. And it's not old. It's not young. It's not a new thing. It's old, super old, super powerful. And they attacked my people too, years ago. So I'm gonna take a 4 minute break real quick, and I will get back as fast as I can. It is 3:29 right now in Binghamton, New York. Again, New York State lost 86 people to the coronavirus yesterday. It's just a sick, sick thing. And like I said before, if the true creator of all things, I'm not talking about the things that run this system, this world, and what we think is part of life. If the true creator allowed his adversary or a adversary to do these things and do nothing, then he is the devil. It doesn't matter. He is your Satan. Satan itself came from Sultan, believe it or not. This book shows you. It's that simple. I showed the Jehovah Witness already in a video that echoed a little bit, and I apologize for that, but in the OSV book, they show you who the real governing body members are and who the real bride and bridesmaids are. Way back in the early 1700s, in the early 16 and 1500s. It's an old book. But these guys live and die by it. They make all their money with it. They conjure. 4 to 5 minutes. I will be right back. Again, thank you very much for being with me. I really appreciate it. All right, I'm sorry for all the pumped up music, but you know what? This is the most aggravated, frustrated. Mm, I don't want to use any other words. Let's just get right to it. This is the most devastating thing that I'm ever going to show, that you're ever going to understand in the history of your life. That's how serious this is. Now, look, I'm going to say something nicely. I'm going to say it one time. And I don't want anybody to take an offense to this. And if they do, I apologize because I'm not trying to be offensive here at all. What just happened? Damn it. Why does it do that? Are we still live? Okay, we're still live here so far. I think. Let me make sure. Okay, it looks like we're still live here on Facebook at least, so I apologize, but it looks like I lost the stream with YouTube. So, and this will be rebroadcast again on all 7 of my channels. The reason why this is one of the most important videos you're ever going to watch, it's not on public TV, it's right here, it's right now. Because in order to stop a killer, you gotta find out what the killer loves. Why do they love to kill? What's their motivation? What snapped them? So let's talk about something that none of you really understood for a few seconds. Then I'm going to show you something, and then we got to go deeper. So the one thing I'm going to show you just happens to deal with the ones that we call Jews. But then it also happens to deal with the ones that we call Indians. But then it also happens to deal with everybody else. Why? Why? See, the craziest thing. See, I have to start out with something. I love my wife to death. I would not trade her or trade her in for anybody else. I'm garbage. I'm garbage. That's what I've been called from. Anyway, I've been very fortunate to have 3 kids. I love them all dearly. Dearly. I couldn't. I always thought that I was going to be dead by the age of 19. Then I thought for sure I was going to be dead by 30, just like Jesus. Because, you know, when you grow up super religiously and you're forced to do more religiously than you are what they call secularly or out in the world or what everybody else, then you go in it all-heartedly. You go in searching for, how can I be on the right side of God? How can I do this? How can I do that? Well, I need to do things just like Jesus did. That's really your motive, your motivation. And again, if you're with me on YouTube, or excuse me, on Facebook, if it's freezing a little bit, I apologize. I'm trying to hope that the stream stays as smooth as it is, but if not, I did record this, so it's being recorded as I speak. And I will upload it and we'll rebroadcast it. So I love my life more than anything, and I love my wife. About a year and a half ago, I talked to her and I said, you know what? I said, I just have it in me, hon, that I can't live the rest of my life not really truly knowing who I am. This was way before economic stuff and things that just come up in families. I mean, you know, everybody has it a little differently, and no one has it easy. But, you know, your goal is to do the best you can for your family and keep fighting. Just what it is. That's the world we live in. So I said to her, I said, I have to try to find out who my family really tree is. I didn't really get that from my mom and dad. I didn't get it from my relatives. School didn't teach me that. None of it. And when I confronted my religious elders with the question of, well, who were black people? Because I really don't see them in the Bible that much, which we all know a eunuch is a man without a ball sack, pretty much. Got it removed. So you want to say that all black people should have the highest pride ever because Jesus baptized a sackless man, pretty much. But then you find out that, oh, well, blacks might have been in the Old Testament. They might have been in the New Text. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about any of that because when I show you this, you're going to realize that the true creator's people would not have even been involved with the story they told us in this book. It's that simple. So I need you to, I know everybody's got Jesus in their heart and they're praying now more than ever because of what the coronavirus has done to families. If you think about it, just take 2 seconds of your time right now and just think about this. Their God, Yahweh, or Jehovah, or Ehovah, Baal, whatever you want to call him, even in his book, the Bible, or a book that was written called the Bible, whether it's Septuagint, King James, Essene, the book of the Essenes, the book of Enoch, if you want to talk about Jasher, Barak, Sefer, you can go down the entire list of all these different Bibles. Throughout most of all of it, I want you to think about how the God is. The God claims that vengeance is mine, right? That he causes the father to go against the son, the daughter to go against the mother. So he breaks up families, right? No matter what he does, because only the member that's defending him, that's worshiping him, then he gives you everything. So he's been playing the yin and yang the whole time, right? So he's got to be enjoying every time someone loses their life, no matter how it goes down. That's sick. That's sick. And I told you, as I said it from my heart, I don't care if whoever tries to strike me dead right now. I'm telling you plain and simple. If the true creator allowed his people, or people in general, to be destroyed, raped, raptured, which is really raping, it doesn't matter, sacrificed, and he's just sitting there watching it all, because God sees everything, right? It's almost like Santa, right? He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good for good. What the fuck? Come on. So if he sees all these things occurring, including kids getting raped, women getting beaten by their husbands or whatever, people being kept for unnatural purposes. That's how they say it in that book, right? If he's down with watching all that happen, and he has the authority of his angels to say, what are you guys waiting on? Get out there and do something, and they don't do it, then that means all of them are watching with him. And you want to call that discipline? No, it's called sickness. It's an illness. That's what the creator is, if he's the one that has been allowing all this to happen. So let's stop the bullshit talk right now, and let's punch these people in their fucking mouth right now. You ready? Let's go, man. You know how we do it. Let's go. Don't hold nothing back. Let's go. So we are going to go, and I'm going to show you 2 books. So I'm so fortunate to have this book, number 1, the OSP. I want to tell you the honest truth between you and me. Between you and me, or whoever's watching this. The OSV book, the Book of Jehovah, is no different than a wizard's book, a musician's wand. But as I tell you that, there's a secret. You ready? You sure you're ready? Here it comes. The secret is, so isn't your Bible. So now, let's find out what the fuck I'm talking about. In the OSV book, remember, this is supposedly Yahweh, Jehovah, Jehovah, whatever. Let's just read it from the top briefly, okay? Because a lot of people don't understand what corporeal is, and yet we have corporations in business, right? But then, sadly, and I'm talking to you from the bottom of my heart right now, because I know this has got to be the worst thing that people have ever gone through, because not only are they aren't able to hold the hand of that loved one that's going through this and try to tell them it's going to be okay, or to really go and talk to the true creator and beg for him or her to help you and your family survive this. To know that the whole time you've been talking to a legion of freaking gods that got their asses whooped. Do you really think they're taking your prayers seriously? Ever? So many people say, oh yeah, God blessed me, he blessed my family, he did this, he did. What's a blessing? Tell me what a blessing really is defined as. See, because if you really knew, then being blessed is like being paid for your work. Now I wonder, if you ask anybody out there, how many of them are really getting paid for their work? That constitutes as what? Labor, right? But that's not the work that we're really talking about. Let's read it. Let's read it. You have a corporal body and a spiritual body. Now again, we are going to focus on just the spiritual body for a few minutes, okay? But let's keep reading this. Hear me, and I will open your understanding. I come to you free, not only the corporeal man, but the spiritual man. So you are two beings. The corporeal man, which is what? Physical, right? And the spiritual man, which is your soul, right? So ask yourself a question. This is the obvious thing that secret societies will never talk about. Why is it that these so-called gods are doing their damnedest to get you involved? To have you serving them, laboring for them. You ever ask that? Anybody can ask that question. Ask yourself when you're going to church. It doesn't matter. Well, you can't go to church right now, but really, they're trying to still get you to church. But ask yourself a question. Why does God need you to worship him? What constitutes as worshiping? Because when you idolize, it's totally different. When you idolize something, you're excited. You're willing to pay whatever money you have to be entertained. So tell me how your so-called God entertains you. Why is it so important for you as a religious person to be spiritual? Well, Harry, don't ask a stupid question. You know the answer. When you're a spiritual person, that means that you're in connection with God and that his son is going to give you the life once you pass away in this world. Shut the fuck up. You know why I say that? And I apologize for swearing there, but I grew up with this shit. See, First off, let me take a 10-second break and say this. This is like a station identification. For all you Jehovah Witnesses out there that have the governing body members tell you everything, oh, you got to do this, do that, read this book because we're going to help you get the Bible straight. Listen, I'm going to say something that I've never said about them in my entire life, but I mean everything that I say when I say this. If you don't like the swear words, cover your ears. You've been warned. You ready? All your governing body members are a bunch of bullshit artists. They're punk ass bitches that steal your wallet. And guess what? They want you to be on their little ship as they fly away and they hop into the ship. See, the OSV book tells you about all the different lands that are above the troposphere, the stratosphere. Yeah, those are the different heavens that you go through to get to the very top. But all you got to do is ask a sprite, because the sprites are the ships. They are the lands that are in this book. So what's a sprite really? See, someone killed these bitches off when they were on the land, and they're still pissed the fuck off because they can't escape the land. They can't. So Jacob's ladder, when he said about you can see the angels coming and going, they were only going up so high because they couldn't get up any higher. Why didn't your Bible tell you about that? Why do they want your physical to become more spiritual so that you can have a relationship? That's the answer. So that you can have a relationship. So what happens in relationships in the physical? Well, it takes a lot of love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faith, mildness, and self-fucking control. We know what those are, right? Oh my God. But sometimes you can get a little jealous. You can have a little hatred. You might even want to take a life because something was done wrong to you. And you feel empowered because you know you have a spiritual relationship, so whatever you try to do to me, you're doing to him too, or her too, or it too. That's a spiritual relationship. See, if they can get you to physically do things here in their heaven, then they're going to give you a little seat on their ship. That's the deal. And all you have to do is give up something. Just something small. It's not too big. And they tell you about it in this book. Plain and simple. They say, you know what? We're giving you knowledge, right? From the tree of life. The Kabbalah stuff is in here. Everything. Buddhist stuff is in. All of it's in here. But they're feeding you proper food at the proper fucking time. Look, if you're hungry, eat. Right? What if you can't afford to eat it? Then you knock on a neighbor's door and ask for help, right? You call a family member and say, hey, this is, right? No, they want you. They want you. See, and they are male and female in the same bodies. So, weirdly enough, they love it even more if you're the same way. Don't you get it? Don't you get it? See, this is about a possession. They lost a possession. They were locked into a land that was already possessed. And what did they do? They had to possess what was already here. And they did that. Then they said, you know what? We want some physical. So they possessed physical things and had those things mess around with physical beings. Thus, a new child was born. A whole new generation of people were born, and then they all drowned. So, if all the physicals were gone, but yet the Old Testament tells you, just as in the days of Jared, so the end will be. I'm sure you read that, right? Well, how is that possible? I don't know how. Well, you can search in the Codex Gigas, you can search in the Voynich manuscript, you can search in the OSV and get it. So, the reason they want you to be spiritual is so that you are in a relationship. Now, remember Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons, Masons, Moors. It doesn't matter who the fuck you are. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Remember, they want you. And what they do is they empower you by helping you get where you want to be or even further. But when the bell rings or you hear a knock at that door, time's up, bitch. Time's up. Tell me how that's true freedom. Tell me how that's everlasting life. Tell me how that's you're going to see your lost friends and family members again. But you know why they're telling you that part? Because they already have them. Period. That's how they can tell you about your long lost grandfather that you lost a few years ago, wondering if he still loves you and misses you. Oh, they know it all. That's their power. So when you are praying at night, saying, God, please help us get out of this bill situation. You know, I got laid off and the world, we're locked in a house. We can't really get outside. I don't know what I'm going to do. And this, listen, they are laughing, but they do want to help you. You know why? Because you're helping them. You're helping them become physical again, whether you like it or not. They know everything about you. They know everything about your kids. They know everything about your husband, your wife, everything. Because we allowed them in. So, who spit the coronavirus out that we can't stop today? If you don't understand how demonically ill those spirits are, you will never get it. It'll be too late. It's too late. It's too late. We know that the COVID-19 or coronavirus is an unnatural thing. Look, if it was natural, then it would support life. But only unnatural things and unnatural beings take life away. So when they joke around with you and told you in that little freaking garden that we inherited sin, well, see, my people, we all know about inheritances. We never had it. But all the other races in the world, ironically, get to pass theirs down. So, don't give me the bullshit anymore about everybody's a bunch of sinners. No, not all of us. Well, you were born imperfect for a reason because... No. If you got the whole world in your hand and you control what goes on in the world for as long as you can, that's what you do. And if God allowed you to fucking do that and put it in their law system to allow you to do that, fuck you. Because I'm down with life. I'm down with living. Have been. And we all have been born most of us have been born that way. No one was ever born and that person or that child finally learns language and say, "Hey, I wanna die." No one. But for some crazy, sad, sick reason, death is all around us. What do we call it? Walking through the valley of the shadow of death, right? Their heaven is our hell. And we're going through their heaven right now. So what's in their game plan? Is it actually in this book that there was going to be an end, even in Jehovah's little system, his little setup? Oh, you better bet your ass. Why? You're playing with fucking dead beasts. What do you think the Book of the Dead is all about? It's about these guys. And we've been serving them, whether you're a Muslim, Jew, Hindu, Protestant, Baptist, Jehovah's Witness, Mormon. It doesn't matter. Anything to do with any kind of worship, you're in. That's what they did to us. So continue being spiritual. No problem. No problem. Enjoy. But then they kind of tell you in that same book called the Bible that you need to get out of her. Well, if you never thought you got into her, how the fuck are you going to get out of her? If she runs everything, she's the pantheon. Well, how do you get out of the pantheon? That is going to be in the next video. Down the Rabbit Hole 8. And the reason why I saved it for 7, 8, and 9, because, the old joke was, hey, what happened to 9? Well, what does 7 do to 9? 7, 8, 9. Something like that. That's how the joke went, right? But nobody understands how truly powerful the number 9 really is. Actually, the Beatles know. One of their old songs, they play it backwards, and it says something about number 9. He just repeats it like 9 times or something. I don't know. It's crazy. Some freaky shit, but we don't understand who our teachers were and have always been. They want us on that stairway to heaven, pretty much. And we're actually going to break down Stairway to Heaven from Led Zeppelin in the 8th part, and we're going to do Kashmir. Why? I'll give you a big secret. You ready? I wish I had the power because I would do it in a heartbeat. I'd send 5 to 6 drones with some very high quality cameras on them. No guns, just cameras. To the Himalayan mountains, the Himalayas. Right there in that area, Kashmir, right? So you got China, India, and what, is it Arabia or Turkey or something like that? Iran, Iraq? One of those 3. Those 3 have been battling over those mountains for the longest time. Why? For the tourism? No. There's something in those mountains that's been for a long time. And that thing, that entity, will relate to your creator and to your fellow man in righteousness and good works shall become the most sacred study of your life. Well, if we're studying all those positive things, why are you trying to give us an entity at the top? Shh, you're not supposed to know about that until you get there, so stop. Okay, I'm just asking a question, huh? Your God does not come in this era as a dictator, but as your elder brother, nor by command saying, you shall believe because I, your God, have said it or revealed it in this book. Well, isn't that what the Bible actually kind of says? Because it's kind of a form of jealousy, isn't it? Well, he does the same thing right here in the OSV too. So apparently he's a flip-flopper, right? Nevertheless, through OSV, Light of Jehovah, that's what the name means. OSV is Light of Jehovah. Well, let's see. We got two things going at a light battle here. So we got one with a red saber light, and then we got one with a blue saber light. And it's Star Wars all over again, right? It says it right here that Jehovah himself is what? He's the light of Jehovah. That's what the OSV is. He's a light bearer. Well, Satan is the light bearer too. Well, hold on there. Wait a minute. Let me tell you something else. Jesus is the morning star. Wait a minute, damn it. Satan is the morning star too. So stop it. Who's been running the world, people? Jesus, Satan, ISIS, Vishnu, who? Because at the end of this book in the glossary it says that every last one of these kids are sons of Jehovah. So it's Thor, Apollo. Long list of names. And the weirdest part ever is, in the 9th video, my last video of this whole series, and I will more than likely never shoot another video again, probably because I died, either passed away from this corona stuff, or something else happened to me, or I found my tree. But you're going to realize who and what races of people were under Thor, Apollo, S, the list goes on. Harry, there's no way that book has that much information in it. You got to be pulling my leg. Well, let's read something. Nevertheless, through OSP, Light of Jehovah, the Creator is revealed to man. So, if the Creator that created this system of things and beast people and different races and skulls with horns coming out of them and all these things, including your coronavirus, and yet we serve diligently, huh? Salute you, Jehovah, right? He just told the world right then and there, and they knew it. They knew then. Because the spirit world was trying to get back in contact with their man. So, who created these type men that would be so willing to reconnect with these spirits? See, when you're interested in connecting with something, what's the first thing you want to do once they give you the green light? You want to be taught, right? They're the teacher, you're the student. In this book, they are the master and you're the initiate the whole way. And they give you the whole history of how they run the world. The Creator is revealed to man. A man is to judge himself. Well, wait a minute. We thought God was the judge because he's the law. And labor to save himself. Well, why does everybody have to fucking work? First world country instead of third world, right? Save himself from what? From himself and the beast or the spiritual things that run them. So that by this he may have honor and glory. Man having honor and glory, how would they have honor and glory? They're getting it from their spiritual connection. Why would the spirit realm give them honor and glory? Because they had a job to do and they did it. Remember, the Phoenicians come from a land where they were utterly destroyed and their phoenix died. Out of the ashes, they rose again. They're known as the Greeks. Greeks. Sorry, did I say it clearly? The Greeks. The Greeks ran into a couple smart-ass, big-head men known as gypsies, who were what? Egyptians. Egypt. Gypsies. He who controls the pen controls the story. He or she who controls the story controls history. He or she that holds the gold rules. Remember, part of their manifest destiny was coming and warring and searching for what? Gold. Whether you go way back to Genghis Khan times or the early 1900s. It doesn't matter. You had explorers everywhere. Exploring. Well, wait a minute. If it wasn't the New World, why did they just explore their own land more? We did that already. We didn't find what we were looking for. You know, U2. And I still haven't found what I'm looking for. U2 is a god. Did you look that up? They even put together a song called what? Yahweh. Are you freaking kidding me? You know, the craziest part, there's two songs that I used to like by them. I think the one goes, Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday. So that's one. At the end of that song, he tells you what side of the fight he was on. Oh my God. I'm like, are you kidding me? And the song sold millions of copies. I was like, damn, only a fucking witch does something like that. What's the other one? Sunday, Bloody Sunday, and something else. Very popular song. I can't remember. I'll find it. Dang it. I hate when I do it. Same thing. Towards the end of the song, he tells you what side of the song he's on. Damn, I was like, wow. Whew. Okay. For the will of the Creator is not for man to be forever led. So who's going to lead man after you're done with him, Jehovah? But for a man to ultimately have the light bearer, of practicing good works organically. From what? From old age? No, from infancy up. I do know one thing. They did do to the slaves of my skin tone. They ended up killing off almost 100% of our parents. That's what made it easier for them to raise us up in the language with the Lord Jesus and have us turn the other fucking cheek. That's why there's such a high number of Baptists as so-called black folk, right? Christians, right? Well, Harry, you can't go hard on the Christians, man. You just can't. That ain't even right, man. You can't. Okay. Well, let's go there. Let's go there. Before I take a quick break, let's go there. We're going to go into the glossary of the OSV, you know, the Light of Jehovah. Here we go. And before I go, we're going to read this whole thing on abracadabra, okay? But let's go to our word of the day, because the next thing we got to do is punch this nigga in the face. That's what I'm talking about. Watch. Okay, so here's Christ or Christe. Wisdom, knowledge, education. School? Anybody? College? Anybody? Work? Anybody? After the false god Luamon. Doesn't that sound like a bad Pokemon or something? Luamon? Look him up. See what you see, bro. Falsely took this name. It became synonymous with warrior. So all of your so-called, what do they call them? Where you have vengeance, Avengers. Oh my goodness, the Avengers, right? That's why they got Zeus looking like an Avenger. You know what I'm saying? They're the warriors. Now watch. Christian or Christians, a brotherhood of warriors. That's your whole pantheon, right? Hold on. One who rushes into a multitude of rioters and with a sword enforces peace is a true Christian. A people whose faith is in arms and standing arms. But wait, they usually have the Bible. That is part of the arms. They came armed with a spiritual word to kill. Well, you just can't go hard on the Christians like that. What else you got? The following words are synonymous with Christians, which means these other groups came from what? Here we go. Synonymous. Brahma, Buddha, Christ, Christe, Baal, Astaroth. Don't get it wrong. It's Baal, Astaroth. You know what? I'm not going to waste time because a lot of people just say, oh, it's Baal. It's Baal, Astaroth. You know, Rocky Balboa, Baal, that's where they got it. No, that can't be true, Harry. Who did he beat in the first movie? Apollo, son of Jehovah. Yeah. Well, the most recent Rocky had, you know, Apollo's son. I forget his name. Adonis, son of Jehovah. Keep it going. We just copied Baal Astaroth. I have not even checked this out for the first time with you, but we're gonna do it real quick. We're gonna take a break. Paste. Here we go. Okay, you see how they do it, right? They show you both of them in their Bible, but I don't really want to go there, but they're going to force me to, so I'll click that first. But then we're going to open up another one. Now I can't get that YouTube song out of my head, sorry. All right, paste, and we're just going to go right here. All right. So let's look at this original first. Now, hold on a second here, because Baal was like a bullheaded guy, wasn't he? Wasn't he the bullheaded guy? And not Moloch. And what about Baphomet? Wow. Once you see it, you'll see it. Once you don't, you don't. I'm sorry. See, this is where we're at, people. That's Remphat right there. We know that. Even though it's a 5-star, it's really serious. Oh, serious. Oh, serious Osiris. And then you got the 6-pointed star, which is Remphat, in the same group of what we just read in the OSV. Wait till you find out who the 4 pillars really are, because it takes you to their race too. Oh yeah. We have to do it. So let's look at the other one, make sure it doesn't match. Okay, so this one, Baal and Ashtaroth. You can see the name of Ashtaroth, right? It's really Ishtar. It's the same shit. The god or gods called Baal normally require the sacrifice of children, of family members, mother fighting, same shit. But we have people that are spiritual. They drink the blood, eat the body. Require the sacrifice of children, often the firstborn male child. Remember, the three magi supposedly told Herod where Jesus was, went back to him so that he can come and kill. But remember, it was kid in between the ages of 0 and 2 years, right? All those other kids died, right? In the story, right? By sacrifice, by fire. Another popular goddess worshipped in the days of the Bible was Ashtaroth, a deity associated with sexuality and fertility, and by some people, war. So when you hear of war and reports of war, it's Ashtaroth. When you hear of kids getting raped and molested and, no one's going to come to their defense unless they have 2 witnesses, it's Baal. So you have your male quality there and your female quality. You put the 2 together in a marriage and you have the bride and the groom. So who's your governing body now, bitch? You want me to go through those names? Should have caught that video. I'm not doing it again. I know it echoes. I apologize. But I was so in the zone in that thing, I couldn't redo it if I could. Couldn't. Because we knocked their asses out. And once you do something, like, you don't want to fight the same cat again, man. You already whooped them. It's just, what's the purpose? You know what I mean? Come on. Dagon, Vishnu, the lowest rock layer in the Grand Canyon. Name it. I'm sorry, what was the answer? What did you say? Yes, you are 100% correct. Vishnu. Who named that shit? Ashdod. Knowledge, wisdom, Krishna, the Krishnas, light, Po, Wa, Manito, and in fact, a score of others, all associated with the Christians that are what? Synonymous with all these other gods. You're in the pantheon, you've always been there. Maybe you didn't know. Maybe you need to know. Because there's no protection for you with this stuff going on. There never has been. So we've been fortunate, lucky, whatever you want to call it. Maybe there's a type of blood involved that might save some asses. Pisses me right off, man. Seriously. So, I told you in the last video, it's just amazing that 9/11 was allowed to happen to this country. The strongest nation, the smartest, we got the best doctors, we got this, we got that. 86 people passed away yesterday. And when you hear the nurses and the doctors talk, the ones that are on the front lines, some of them are even getting sick and ill and dying themselves when they're telling you they've never, ever, ever experienced something like that before, ever. Not even with the Ebola. We're back to the early 1900s with the Spanish flu, right? Which was a type of what? Coronavirus, right? Right? And that started out west in this country. So why'd they give it the name Spanish flu? Look it up. I think it was in Oklahoma. Look it up, on a freaking farm. Was that a laboratory? Look it up. Dance. Look at this shit, man. This is crazy. Light. A cycle dawn is Dan. And in the Ark of Specta, or Ark of Bond, which is in this book, such a Dan comes once every 3,000 years. So something's coming once every 3,000 years? No. So we meant to tell you a little bit more. Here. Let's just keep reading here. And is preceded by spirit manifestations. So wait a minute. Let us get this straight. These gods of the pantheon want us to be spiritual. But then once every 3,000 years, and then that's followed by spirit manifestations. And that, if we read a little bit more, it says, there are also sub-cycle Dans of 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, 1,600, 1,800, 2,000, all the way to another 3,000 years. So these Dans keep happening. What is going on every time a Dan occurs? Because, you know, in the UK, that whole kingdom over there claims that they are of the tribe of what? Dan, right? Dan. So every 200 years, something happens. So in 1820, what happened? About 1813. How about 1817? What happened? See, we missed something that happened that was major in the early 1800s. That was 200 years ago. So what could have happened in 1618 or 1613 or 16? Oh yeah, they gave us the King James version. That's right. That's right. The 1611. That was. And what happened? Dance. Also known as dang. Dang. Right there. I know when I was a kid, every time I wanted to say damn, I said dang. Dang. Never knew, but apparently I was spiritually connected, so they gave it to me. I don't know. Let's look up dang. I'm trying to be serious, and it's sick. Oh, I thought it was here. You read it someplace else, and they say dang in it, and it takes you right back up here. Anyway. Yeah, let's read this and then we'll take a break. So, a deity, also known as an entity. What's the difference between a deity and an entity? There is a difference. So, when you hear a song like Killing in the Name of, or We Pray This Through Your Son's Name, Jesus, or We Come in the Name of the President, or in the name of liberty, I ring thy bell. Ding, 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 ding. The bell's the deity. The entity is the spirit. The entity has always been the spirit. So when Jehovah's Witnesses create Watch Space Tower and Watchtower and religious order and all these other entities, they're still under the same deity. And Jehovah's Witnesses at the top, whether it's your president, vice president, secretary, assistant, whatever the fuck, plus your governing body members. They're all guilty. Even your Mormons, so at the top of their group, all religions, it doesn't matter, at the top of their groups, they all come right back here to this book. Your deity is Yahweh. How many more names do you need to give him? I showed you 2 videos ago how we played the song Mr. Roboto by Styx. Right at the very end, he yells out the name 3 times. Kilroy, Kilroy, Kilroy. That's how he ends it, right? And you play it backwards in the first 20 seconds. It says Yahweh, Yahweh. Yeah, I hate saying the name. I do. Because I gave that deity my heart, my mind, my soul, my strength, my power. I got into so much trouble because of fighting and getting in trouble because it wasn't appreciated through the religion. It was frowned upon. I got into a fight with a Bible study of mine, and it wasn't him, but it was someone that, well, he saw me get into a fight. Anyway, I was teaching the Bible student how to self-defense. Shotokan, Hapkido, all this stuff. So I was teaching it, right? Got in trouble, lost privileges. Jehovah saw the whole thing. He saw all my beatings when I was young. He saw all my defenses when I was older. He doesn't understand why I didn't hit that wall on Route 87 heading up towards Albany. He didn't know why I didn't finish falling down the stairs when I was young. He didn't know why I recently discovered more about my race in his book. In his book of magic, I found my race, and I found someone that was contemporaneous with their so-called Moses and Calvary. So, how long do you gotta fuck around? Stop bullshitting. Some of us would love to get a shot at living because we want to enjoy our families before you do what you have to do. But I'm here to tell you, Yahweh, you don't scare me. You can't stop me. You may be able to kill me, but I'll be back. I'll be back for you. And you're a pantheon. You can bank on that. When I come back, we're going to read Abracadabra. It's very interesting, too, because that's the first definition in his book, OSB. Abracadabra, right here. So we're going to read this whole paragraph, and then I'm going to show you who the Jew really is, who the Muslim really was, who the Hindu really was. What was India superior? What was Africa superior? Who is Ayawata? Ayawata. And why is he turning up in New York State? I'll be back in 7 minutes. Crazy world we live in now. Crazy. We're back. Stay. Whoa. Are we back? We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We are back. So switch over. Again, everything I give you, I give you the opportunity. Go look it up yourself. Go look at it because it's just hot air if you don't go look at it. Once it hits your cranium, you gotta ask yourself, well, why didn't I know about this? Because if I would have known about this, maybe I'd lived my life a little differently. Maybe I've done things a little differently. Maybe I've... All those other questions pop up. See, these guys, these spirit beings have in us, they all have us from our very existence doing one thing: following the yellow brick road. Why follow the yellow brick road? It's very simple. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I got rid of my earrings. I got rid of my brother's necklace. I won't wear gold. I just won't. Because when you realize that the true, pure gold is petrified blood, not regular human blood, but petrified Nephilim blood. Then you have to ask yourself, well, wait a minute, wasn't it King Solomon that had all the gold in the world and this and that? And in the final video, that's part 9 of the rabbit hole, I have to show you what they did to the so-called King Solomon and King David. And just to give you a big hint, remember when they told you that King David married Bathsheba? And weirdly enough, Solomon married what? No. Just switch it. King David married Bathsheba, right? And Solomon married Beersheba, right? Right? Well, when they told you about inheriting sin, remember, they said Adam and Eve were the first ones in the garden, right? Their garden, number 1. Number 2, what is the definition of their Adam? Let's look it up right now. Because, Jehovah watched the whole thing go down. He made sure they were taken care of. They're his creation. Well, let's see. Adam. Where are you, Adam? I know you're in here hiding. I know you're in here. Where are you? Adam? Adam? What the... Where'd he go? What? Where'd he go? I know he's in here. Hold on. I'm not playing around. I know I've seen him. Hold on. I gotta find him. He's under the name for Arizona State University. A Sioux. What? A Sioux, or Adam. Ready? Remember, it's in the OSV Standard Edition.com PDF. It was originally astrologically written in 1517. It was hidden and then refound, and there was a lot to it that was missing. So astrologically, another guy stepped up and wrote out. See, it's hard to duplicate some of this here because this was the original languages that they were working with. But they figured it out because they had a spiritual connection. Let's read about Adam. Ready? The first race of man. All right, yeah, that's Adam. Adam and Eve. Adam broke his rib and gave it to... Huh? What? Did not walk upright. Wait, Adam and Eve didn't sin. It was their son Cain. And Cain killed their second son Abel, and they had another son named Set, and Set... Osiris. Why is it that Adam did not walk upright? Did he have some kind of spinal whatever? See, because they told us 2 people went into the wild, remember? It was Cain. After killing Abel, he ran away into the wilderness, and somehow, some way, he found a wife. Don't know, but... and started his whole people, right? And then the other guy that went into the woods, after he was already king, was King Nebuchadnezzar. I have to wait for the 9th video. It may run for 5 hours. But what we're going to do is show the copper-skinned people of our world. And we have to be careful because the copper-skinned race was also mixed in with the black or purple-skinned person. Also mixed in with other beings by rape. I'm sure the modern day early 1600s slave owner knows what I'm talking about, right? You know, Irish eyes are smiling, you know, come on. Let's just be real. And weirdly enough, you have to look at this with a grain of salt because you have to understand back then it wasn't just language. The actual drawings were things. So what thing is this right here for a saphs? Because we have different types of so-called angels, right? Seraphs, seraphim. There's others, right? Seraphim, saphs. Is there a connection? Maybe not. I'm not gonna say there is, but there's some things drawn in here. Makes you say, I don't know, that might be an actual thing. That's not a word. Look at it. Looks like a tree. Looks like all kinds of little goodies in here. Look at this. Now that looks like somebody standing up with one arm there. There's their dinky head. There's another arm going out, and there's some being here. I don't know what the heck. And it turned into this. I don't know. That looks like it's a beast under the firmament. So let's look at the definition of ashars or asars. Guardian angels. Oh. Who are appointed over mortals. Wait a minute. So, this is how it was then, and it's still that way today because we all live in Jehovah's kingdom right now. It's the kingdom on earth. It's here. We've been serving it the whole time. It's God's kingdom. But wait, we're waiting for Jesus to come back and give us everlasting life, and then his kingdom's going to reign forever, right? You're living in it now, whether you like it or not. Well, Harry, that can't really be true because, you know, we still have war, we have pestilence, we've got a lot of problems. Yeah, about that, that's what happens when you become spiritual, bro. You know, it was Led Zeppelin that said, you know, the sky is filled with good and bad, but mortals never know. That's how they said it in the song, remember that? Remember what song it was too? It was called The Battle of Evermore. Guardian angels who are appointed over mortals to be with them during life. They deliver the spirit in time of death into the hands of the Asaphs. Well, wait a minute. I thought Anubis was the one that weighs the heart and see if it's as light as a feather. And then, you know, you go one way or the other. Because otherwise you're left in what they call purgatory, right? Right, Catholic? And Catholic is really still a Christian. A Catholic got their name from Cathay. Where was Cathay? Who wrote the name Cathay and defined it first? Could it have been the real Moses? See, because China started where we have the wall right now in China. Yes, you guys know that. I'm sure you know. All the way to South America. You know what the funny part is? All your historians knew it. They have it on their maps. Just pull up a map from the 1600s. There's even a landmass outside of California called California. Could that also have been where the San Mignon was? See, because in a previous video, I'm not going to say which one, but in a previous video, I told you Detroit, Michigan. That's the Jordan split what we call China today and where Alaska is, which was part of the three Indies. You know, India Superior. And that's why a statue of Shiva was found in the Grand Canyon without a lift. There was also swords in there too. A lot of gold. What was it doing by the Grand Canyon? And who dropped it off? UPS? How'd they get it into the mountainside like that? Part 9 will tell you, because we found it. And it wasn't just going through the OSV. And you know, I hate this so much because I started out with the Bible as a young cat, turned 27, they couldn't tell me who my people really were. So I left. Boom, started my family, lived my life, went through hell. So we went through 3 floods in 18 months' time. After being married and having 2 kids, 3 months and 18 months' time. Lost everything, including my business, my office. I was doing it their way, lost it. So I was praying and praying and saying, what the? And then I said, you know what? I'm not going to call his name up, but I'm going to pray out loud and see if I get an answer from anybody. And, you know, we moved into another apartment for a short period of time. We lost that because I could not find work because I was a little older and everybody else had jobs and I couldn't find shit. The longest walk in your life is when you walk 6 miles from a hotel where you have your family, not knowing what's going to happen. You watch them drive away with your mother-in-law. And you walk 6 miles with a bag in your hands to the police barracks so that they can run a background check on you, make sure you're clean, make sure you're not dirty, make sure you're not wanted. And then you walk from there another 3.5 to 4.5 miles to a men's shelter. Now, I could have easily called one of my sisters here in town and just said, hey, look, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, and I could have had it a little easier, got some help, and, got back on my feet, and I couldn't do it. See, because when you're that close to Jehovah or that close to Yahweh, thinking, I've done everything I could, I tried to do things the right way, and this is what you're giving me. Why are you doing this to me? Why do you hate me so much? Am I cursed? All those questions. You ask yourself, why am I still living? What am I doing? What have I done to deserve any of this? And you realize the whole entire time you had a spiritual relationship with the very same God that watched your parents get killed off. Your relatives get raped and pillaged through. Well, nothing's as bad as losing 6 million people, right? Try 40 to 50 million. If you think I'm fucking around, just look underneath the streets of London, of France. Don't act like you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, because you use them as public events, as places to see. And in each one of those places, they mimic each other because they've got the bones and the skulls. And they supposedly never tested to see what real people they were. Oh, they knew. Remember, somebody had to eat. But they think that it went overlooked, huh? No, Jehovah enjoyed it. Probably instructed him to put the bones there. So then in this country, in the United States, you have what, the mound builders, right? Right? All the way down through South America. So you gotta ask yourself, if all that was going on, where was the true creators people? Back to my story. It's tough to come back if you've ever lost everything, try to get some of it back and then lose it again. So I've been very fortunate to have the wife that I have. And I remember before that car pulled away, she said, "Harry, I know you're going to make it happen. I'm not worried. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not worried." Now, I would have thought that, teaching, that's what I would have understood from the very God worshipped and spent all those hours of field service and putting time in to read the Bible, to memorize it, to give talks at the meetings, and do all these public things when I could have been hanging with my friends at school or playing ball with them or trying to join a football team or a basketball team or all these things. I would have thought that God would have got you. All these motivational speakers that say, "I got you," maybe they're gotten because they were got. Well, I knew that was out there, but my father ingrained it in me when I was a little guy. We were playing football against our cousins. I was like 5, 6 years old. And there was a couple other cousins against older cousins in, Hawthorne Court at the time. I remember laugh right now because he knows the story. But the other quarterback threw the ball. My mind told me to turn, catch, and take it to the house. Game over. We won. That was the only ball I dropped the entire game. Hit me right in the... Put the triangle up, and that's what helps you get that point of the ball. It's easier to catch. I know that from playing that I was fortunate to play. But anyway, as I went to catch the ball jammed my middle here, and I was like, ah! Right when it hit, I was like, ah! Dropped the ball. And I cried. I cried him. Remember? Jesus died and he goes down to hell to show everybody, "Hey guys, I died perfectly. See you bitches in hell." Oh wait, we're already here. Damn it. See you guys later. But yet in Jehovah's book, He's bragging about all his other sons. Thor, son of Jehovah. Apollo, son of Jehovah. All. Where's Jesus, son of Jehovah? You know, the dude they sold us on when they came with the sword. Damn, the Bible's so old. Oh my God, we got the Dead Sea Scrolls. We got all these different things. And 6 months ago, something in its presence, I don't know. I may never know. Hopefully I'll know soon enough. But I'm very, very close. And I think before I do the 9th video, or the 9th part, the final part, I'll have it. But something allowed me to see that they not only changed place, but they changed time to put themselves in place, control the world. And you gotta know, it wasn't seem up with it's these bitches in this fucking book. The very ones that were killed off, and their offspring were going. They were killed off. The offsprings of them kept the world going. And finally, someone came along after they were almost defeated, and that he can bring a rebirth, a second generation, or second, and he went somewhere and recreated man. That's why they tell you in Genesis, and of his kind, and their kind, and so Adam was created, but he didn't walk upright. So he had to be taught how to walk. And these bullshit religions today want you to think, oh, walking upright means walking righteously. See, when you discover who they all are, that's the only thing that unlocks the door to who you are. That's what I had to learn. I can't change the road that got me here, but you better believe in your heart of hearts that the second I realized I was on that road, I dove the fuck off. So when I lost everything and I walked to that men's shelter, and I wanted to call one of my older twin sisters that were right here in the same town and say, look, I gotta stay with you for a couple days. I'll figure it out. I said, no. You have to fall through the wall first. You had to fall into the rabbit hole and look around. See if you truly are garbage. And if you're not, what fight do you have in yourself to stand up, to climb out of that thing, and to walk upright? See, because they took our pride, they took our heritage, they took anything and everything, including our family trees. There's no way that you become a slave from dirt. You had to lose a war. Why did they hide all the information of what really went down? What was really on this side against our side, our hordes? That's who Genghis Khan raised up. He was the possessor possessor. I said the word, look it up. Possessor of the keys of the kingdom. And the key, K-I-I, is in book, along with a lot of other names of beings that were raised up. Oh yeah. See, and most of these guys learn this stuff, but by the time they want to say, oh damn son, I want out, I'm getting the fuck out, they can't get out. They were paid in full. So the only escape we really have is to say, look, I didn't ask to be born, but I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad we're about to face off against your coronavirus. But as long as your spirits aren't with my family, we have the true fighting chance, and we're going to defeat whatever else you throw at us. Asaph, angels in heaven, upper realm. What's the upper realm? It's higher than the realm that they came from. That's why they have so above, so below. Angels in heaven, whose office it is to receive the spirit when a mortal dies and bear it to the place prepared for it. Well, why aren't you told what's prepared for you when you die? Because most religions told you, oh, you're just asleep until Jesus calls you. Well, apparently Jesus' name must be Asaph, because bottom line, they're doing everything that you thought was going to happen to you, right? See, you're always sold into a story until you get to the end of the story and realize that didn't make any sense. They also keep the record of the mortal. And in order to keep someone's record, you have to either have someone from the NSA, excuse me, someone, they have to be able to possess you. Or maybe even just possess your house. Or maybe just possess something of you. They have to possess you in order to watch you all the time. Because no one's going to spend their time on 7 billion people. That's 7 billion different Asaphs watching each person. But then again, he knows when you are sleeping. He knows when you're awake. I'm sure you know the rest. He knows when you're screaming for air because you can't breathe because this thing's killing you. He knows when you're screaming like crazy because there's a tornado ripping your house apart. He knows when you're screaming because you're under debris just after an earthquake. He knows that he loves laughing at all of you. Yeah, but we're the superior ones. We're at the top of the food chain. We're supremacy. Then you already told on yourself. You're already connected, bro. You're already connected. Ashars are next in rank to Louise. So what's Louise? I don't remember if it's in here. Let's take a quick peek. But I do want to read the abracadabra for you. But I did say something about the Jews, so we're going to get them, okay? Louise, let's see. Remember, you see Isus, and that's all it is, man. Isuses are... Okay, I got to save that, just like I got to save Hiram Abiff, because Hiram Abiff is sitting right here in the OSV. So that shit went down before your King James version of the Bible was written. Got me? Even Isaiah, oh my God. Stop. So they don't have anything on that word. Oh, here it is. Clues. Ready? Lewis. Angels who provide the prenatal condition for such mortals' births as are designed for special work by the gods or lords. So they're ready to hire you the second you die. Let's read that again and make sure you're not going to be a slave when you pass away. Here we go. Lewis. Angels who provide the prenatal condition for such mortal births as are designed for special work by the gods or lords. For special work. Well, wait a minute. This is mortal births. So that means that they're here. And when you're born, if you're in the family, they're with you already. Synonymous, here's that word again, with masters of generations. Worshipful masters. Next in rank to lords. You mean the Lord Jesus? And lords is plural. Plural. Remember, in our history books, we learn about Alexander the Great, who was called Lord of Lords, King of Kings. We hear about the Lion of Judah, who was Lord of Lords, King of Kings. We hear about Jesus Christ, who was Lord of Lords, King of Kings. We hear about Jehovah, Yahweh, who was Alpha and Omega. A lot of pride in those gods, aren't there? Well, how many lords are there? Their smallest organization is 100,000 members. Next rank above Ashars. Are they showing you the Illuminati as they're climbing? Because even those members have spiritual bodies with them, don't they? So don't sit there and act like it's a big boys club or a big girls club if you're with the Northern Star. Come on. As long as you have to do rituals, no matter what they are, you're in. Oh, well, wait a minute. That means the Jehovah's Witness, that means the Christian, that means the Jew, that means all the other races. We're good, because we don't do rituals. This means my body. This means my blood. What's your ritual now, bitch? And you must pray to the Lord this way. Our Father who art, which means you're not, art in heaven, hallowed, which doesn't mean loyal or royalty. Hallowed be thy name. Wait a minute, I thought his name was Yahweh. Wait, I thought it was Apollo. Wait, I thought it was Jesus. Hallowed be thy name. That's a ritual. The memorial of Jesus' death, that's a ritual. What about Jesus' birthday? Come on, man. Come on now. Come on. He was born as the Savior. So, if he was born as the Savior, tell us what an Isu is. Because you could easily say Jisu, J and I and Y are replaceable. Let's look at what their drawing of an Isu is. Oh, it looks like two birdies on a, I don't know, T-cross here. And you got something here, and it's, I don't know, okay. And then it looks like some kind of animal. What the? Look at the wingspan here. You got the legs coming back. And now, wait, now he's laying down. Is he dead? What the? There's the head. There's the arms. Wait, he's got another set of arms and legs. What's this sticking out here? What the? And now he's back to being something cool. This is awesome. And then, so that's an upside down spirit, because that's what the spirit or soul represents right there. So what are they telling you about all this other stuff? It's simple. And this is why they supposedly sacrificed your Jesus on a cross. Their cross is a sword. But the true cross was the ability to cross. Wait till the 9 video comes out. Wait till you understand what the Nagus really were. You know, we call them niggas today. The Nagus, the Nagas, that India took over and said, oh no, that's our word, bitch. That's what they said. Were they right? Well, let's find that out right now, because we gotta look for the Jew too, remember? Excuse me. And I'm gonna show you something that you never ever knew about the Jew of today. And I have to find him. So, give me a couple seconds here. Ham. I got a question for you, Ham. Here's Ham. Look what we got. 1, 2, 3 X's. There's something about that X. Oh, well, that's the northeast, the southeast, the southwest, the northwest. That's what they did with the crosses. They said, you know, Wakanda, all that shit, right? Ham. He's under a snake. What the? Knowledge of firmament. So he's getting the knowledge of the angels. That makes him chemic, right? Look, Ham. Cosmologic name of what? Wait. Hold on. If we're saying cosmological, well, aren't we in a book called the Cosmon Era? So that means that the era actually started with the Egyptians? I mean, well, they got, you know, hieroglyphs on their stones. You know, they did a lot of good chisel work. Bitch, it's called seething energies. All they had to do was touch the stones, and guess what? Astrologically, it appeared. That's why we can't duplicate it. Took a while you figure that out, right? But that's why. Oh, what? So Vespucius names America, and that's in this other book. But we're going to learn, whether you like it or not, Vespucius is Vespasian. And that's how we put this all together. Because there's one more name I gotta show you, but hold on, let's read this. Gautama. The cosmological name of what? But I thought Vespucius is the one that we named this country after. Our forefathers came to this land because Vespucius beat us here. Now we're gonna... Gautama, the cosmological name of America. Literally, the last spirit foundation, the last revelation. So it's not John from the book of Revelations? Sometimes spelled Gautama. Very interesting. Do you know why? What about Hades? Hades is a god, you know, he controls hell, and, or wait, Anubis is at the gate, but then Hades is the one that rules it, you know. He fought against his brother, and Hada, Atmospheria, the heavens of the earth, Hades, also came to mean the lower grade heavens that rest on or near the earth, as differentiated from the higher grade atmospherian heavens. Haddah, or Hades, who's in hell. So hell is here. Their heaven is above the troposphere and the stratosphere. They can't get out. That's why if you're spiritually connected, they're forcing you to help break the glass ceiling to kill the true creator. Just like we did when we tried to build the Tower of Babel. We named it the Tower of Babel before they called it the Tower of Babel. Does that make any sense? When the tower was struck and their languages changed, they began to babble. But they called the tower they were building Babylon, the Tower of Babel. That makes sense to me. Yeah, I'm ready. Haddah, the first place for spirits of the dead. We are reading in the book of the dead, pretty much. It's called the Light of Jehovah, known as the OSP. And they want you to be spiritual beings in this book and not physical beings. Because physical lasts for a short time, but spiritual lasts forever. Yet, in this book, they're waiting for the stars to line up so that they can have their final dance, their final release. And it's all over for you. Sorry, just plain and simply put. You're going to have heart attacks, you're going to have all kinds of problems worse than what we're dealing with right now with coronavirus. So you got to understand, the coronavirus is a tool that is used with these guys to do what? To make us all aware about, oh my goodness, separate, so that when they show up with this dam, it's all about control. So yeah, you could throw your martial law word out. I'm not trying to make you panic on that. All I want you to do is be awake. Because if you're sleeping, it's so easy to knock you off. Ironically, the word Golgotha is just a temple of skulls, but they're telling you that that's where they killed your Jesus, right? Well, we have a place like that in North America. It's known as Mount Real. I said it. Mount Real. Can you please say that the French way, please? Oh. I'm so sorry. Montreal. Makes sense now? There's a mountain in Montreal. But nobody knows what's there, do they? So corporeal, it's not just physical, it's actually Earth. But we thought Earth was called Pan, right? The level that's Earth. Then you got atmospheria, and you have diatmosphere. We put the corporeal body in the diatmosphere. and supposedly it's disintegrated or recycled, right? But the spirit gets a one-shot trip. All expenses paid, right? Ham, cosmological name of Egypt, as I said. The followers of Abram. So Abraham was an Egyptian. I thought Abram took his wife, who he called his sister, into Egypt because they needed help. And, the Pharaoh, liked her because she looked so beautiful that he gave her so much stuff. And then he found out that she was married. And he was like, well, I have sinned. I'm a Pharaoh and I sinned. What the fuck, nigga? Seriously? What we missed. Ready? Abram. 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 Stick the ham on that nigga and it's Abraham, right? So Ham is, listen, here we go. The followers of Abram bestowed that country's name on him after they settled there. So they settled in Egypt, and they called the people, what? Ham, who were followers of Abraham, right? One who is what? Jehovah, how'd you put that? Black with sunburn? See, because there's copper skin in this glossary too, but I'm not going to touch it today because this is only 7.2. Wasn't even supposed to take it this way. I was just supposed to show you the Jew and get the fuck out, and I did it. Great Spirit. The universe is earth, corporal, there it is, sky, and spirit. The three in one are what? God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost, right? So God the Father is earth. God the Son is the Son. God the Holy Spirit is the whole spirit realm. It all makes up Jehovah. Really? Really. As the spirit of a man is to the man, so is the Great Spirit to Jehovah. Though Great Spirit is also used as synonymous with Jehovah. You just said the same shit and you're the one telling us shit. Goodness gracious. Firmament. The world of space between the stars and planets. But we take a spaceship out in space and look around and see no stars. But when we're back on Earth, we see stars at night. I am a robot, Mr. Roboto. Seriously? Well, we talked fetal earlier. Listen to this shit. Fetal, a suckling. Also one that gives suck. Okay, we know a little baby, right? No diapers to see. More especially, an absorbent as a young child sleeping with a very old person. What the fuck? Is robbed of its vitality. Well, that's okay in the Talmud. Read this shit again. Jehovah's Witness, elders and governing body members who protect child molesters. Here we go. Fetal, a suckling. Also one that gives suck. More especially an absorbent. Well, what does he absorb? or what does she absorb? As a young child, sleeping with a very old person is robbed of its vitality. Fetals feed on the imperishable nutrition, the unseen current of life that passes from one person to another. A healer gives hoama, fetal food, to the sick. A child that dies before birth, please listen here, has a fetal spirit, but before they die, they're called a fetal. It is fetaled on a mortal. It's attached to a mortal until it attains development. Let's really use English here. Since we're in English America, let's break it down. So, what they're saying is a fetalized mortal or spirit stays on a mortal until that mortal matures. Weirdly enough, if you don't kill the poor child, but you rape the child, it's called taking their what? Virginity. It is harder to get rid of a girl or a boy if they are even 17 if you're the first to take their virginity. It's a harder breakup. We all know that. So if you're messing with a child and you take their vitality, it's no different until they mature. And even then, it's hard for them to not only separate from you, but they fear you because they trust you because you manipulated them. Now you with me? And this is way back in the OSV. Way back then. So your governing body members, your elders, and all these other garbage dudes that keep doing this shit keep getting away with it because they know the playbook. That's why. And I said it before, I'll say it again. It is so much easier to foretell if you're using the fucking playbook. Period. Sick. Many full-grown spirits, angels, fetal themselves on mortals, and live so. These are called they're called vampire fetals. Persons who have been drunkards or gormandizers, look that up, on flesh, food, after death, fetal themselves on other mortals, living on their atmosphere, their soul, especially of drunkards, smokers like myself, and gross eaters. Here's a question for you. Are you ready? What if some of these men are led by the spirits to do what they do? And they're fighting with the spirit. I don't really want to do that, though. It's against my nature. I'm going to go to jail. It's wrong. And that spirit tells them, look, You and I already came to an agreement. Let's go. But they can't tell you that it's not possible because it's right here. So, I'm going to show you the truth of all truths real quick, because this is what's going to lead me to the final part 9 of the rabbit hole. And in this search, it's going to be the most deepest search I've ever done on anything in my life, and it's going to be off screen before I'm done. Then I'm going to bring it to the screen once I've found what I was looking for. You know, like YouTube, still haven't found what I'm looking for. Ready? I gotta answer this first. I'm going to mute the mic here for a second. Let's see what it is.
Company has agreed to cover any brace you may need. That's correct. You will receive a professional medical grade pain relieving brace at little or no cost. For more information, press 1 now. To be placed on our do not.
Get out of here. Okay, sorry. I had to let that happen because I put it in my last video. Call me anytime if you think I'm way off on some of these videos. Let's talk. Tell me what you found. So I let that happen. Anyway. Ready? So 4 months ago, I yelled up to the stairs my son. My son was up there streaming a game or something, having some fun with his friends, and I called him down and said, "You gotta see this. Come here. Look." And he looks, and we look. And I said, "Now look, this book of Yahweh or book of Jehovah, book of OSB, spirit, you know, whatever, light of Jehovah, 100% of the way, all they do is brag about their sons. So any name that's possibly a connection is more of a connection than anybody has ever taught us." He goes, "Dad, you're right." So I read it with him again. Ayawata, Hayawata. So Ayawata or Hayawata. Well, which is it, Jehovah? You're supposed to be the God that saw all this. You didn't know the dude's name, but you came close. Okay, we'll give you that. No problem. Ayawata, Hayawata. This is on page 1544 of the OSB Standard Edition.com PDF. Here we go. Oyawata or Hiawatha, a North American Indian who restored the people to the Great Spirit and who founded the United States of America, which became a model used to form the United States of America, a contemporary with Abraham, Brahma, and Poe. Now they just told us earlier that Abram and his people. So that means Abraham and his people are a group. Now you got Brahma and his people are a group. Now you got Poe and his people are a group. So you bring these groups together and you fucking found the Indians that were killing us off. Well, Harry, you don't know what you're talking about again. You're losing it. I don't think you fucking really... This is where I tell you to sit down, shut the fuck up. Because I got you, nigga. I got you. These are those peoples, your Abrahams, your Brahmins, your Poes, all these dudes that were fighting Hiawatha and his people. And then along came Columbus, who was also known as Christopher Colon, the Christos, the Christ, their Christ. When he said, "This is my blood and this is my bread," he was eating bodies and drinking blood. And guess who was on his ark? These guys like this, your so-called Vaya kings, were also with him. You know, the guys with horns coming out of their skulls. All these guys ranged anywhere between 8, 9, and 10 feet each. And these are just a few. I found all your other ones. You had 10. But somehow, some way, someone had the power to destroy at least 3 of those peoples. Not even their blood is found in the land. That gives you 7 heads. But still showing off the pride of 10 crowns. Because if you had 3 more heads, each head would have had a crown. These things were real, and they happened way sooner than you'll ever know. Why? Because they kept it from you. Period. And that picture was from this book, America, being the latest and most accurate description of the New World, containing the original of the inhabitants and the remarkable voyages thither, the conquest of the vast empires of Mexico and Peru, and in other languages. It goes on for like another 2 sentences, like it's crazy. And weird enough, I thought they gave us Mr. Brewer in the 1900s. So who was Henry Brewer and his voyage? What did he discover? Gotta get the book. Because it says, anal, so sick. 1643, Brewer set sail with 4 ships from Reciso. See, they trick you because the F's are S's sometimes, so be careful. And ran close, see what I mean, along the States Isles, or the States Islands. So would that be like Cuba? What other islands are the States Islands? Unless he came from the north in the summertime. Let's keep reading. Or did he come not only from the north, but from the Jordan, known as the Straits of Anian? Oh, now we're talking, baby. So Detroit, this is why your water sucks. Because they still remember you, but you have no clue. So dangerous and rocky, as in Rocky Balboa, rocky, that he durst not put in to the land, from which slew great abundances of party-colored ducks. This is crazy. I mean, they go into heavy fucking detail in this book, and they show you some pictures. There's major pictures taken out. You don't have it in this version because I didn't pay the $99,000, but I wanted to. So I'm going to read this. This is where I'm going to pick up my reading today because I know I'm going to find something that's going to piss me the fuck off, but there's nothing I can do. Because if they've been hijacking the true creator and his power the whole time, then I no longer can blame the true creator. Well, how is that possible, Harry? Bitch, tell me how is it possible? You got pictures of fucking dragons in this book and didn't call it a lie. It was legend. So start there. Then ask me fucking questions. So let's show the world the so-called Hebrew. And I have to go very slow because it goes into heavy detail and I gotta find it fast, and I'm gonna end this video. Look, we all are fighting to stay alive now. In order to have the highest opportunity of winning this fight, we gotta do it together. It's that simple. It's that simple. We gotta put down our pride, our differences, and put together the right team. Period. See, all these different groups of warriors, they're not telling you what their race was or what they look like as mankind, and that is how they hid what they did. And in order to control the chaos after victory, they came up with religion. I gotta find this fast because it's that important for you to hear, that important for you to look up for yourself. This is not bashing Jews, Muslims, anybody. But y'all are the ones that didn't tell the rest of the world that this is where you really came from and this is what you belong to. Because the rest of the world would have still placed you with the other gods that are sons of Jehovah. So let me find this really quick, please. Oh my God, come on, find it. I hate when I do this. There's so many words in here. You could read each word and be like, oh my God, seriously, oh my God, really? That means that, oh my God. You could go for hours. Or you can care less and just keep the TV on and wait for death to come and continue to take us away, no matter what form it comes in. Stupid. Okay, I'm getting close, as I know it is. I'm getting close. Yeah, that fetal in that dictionary is just ridiculous. Oh my goodness, because it calls them right out. All right, we're getting closer. I don't know why I didn't search down here. Okay. Oh yeah, find out who Hiram really is. Oh my God, you'll ship bricks. I'm sorry for the swearing, guys, but it is what it is. Okay. No, it's not. It's not Isaiah. Can't be. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're getting there. Sorry, I almost got it. Not Luster's, nope. Basket Baby Moses. Come on, it's here. Come on. Are we there? I feel like a kid. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? There's Pan, Satan. Very interesting to read Satan there in his book. Holy shit. Totally different cat. Okay, so here's where we make the connection first. You know what? I have to do it to you. I'm sorry. Because I noticed it's working well there, but it's not. It's cut off in between on Facebook. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm going to upload this when I'm done and post it and let you just check it out for yourself. But listen, I'm going to take one more break because I told you. I already showed you the spiritual thing. That's the blockbuster. This is going to floor you. floor you. Four to 5 minutes, I will be right back. But I swear, this is going to floor you. But I put this at the end of the video because, you know, I hope you guys were able to spend some time with me and get an opportunity to study and take a look for yourself. I mean, this is not a religion. I'm not starting a fucking religion. I'm not playing a game. I need to find my tree, my family tree. What we lost. Why was it so important that someone took it? Period. Because the only history I have is, you know, you guys' postcards and pictures that you got on Google with my people hanging from the streets, hanging from crosses that were getting on fire and shit like that. But all the actors in your movies are black-skinned, purple-skinned people. But the people that got raped and murdered and everything else, most of your pictures, they weren't as dark as them. Why'd they do that? There's got to be a reason. And if there's not, I'll stay garbage. No problem. I shall return. Okay. Okay, sorry. That went just a hair longer than I expected. I had to talk to my wife. And here's a story. Anyway, so final part to this. Let's see how long we've gone. 3 hours. Let's wrap this up in 20 minutes or less. Let's see what we have found. We're going to zoom in a little closer here so everybody can see it. Now, I say this quickly. If you type in JEW in Google, let's do it. Why not do it? What the hell? Here we go. JEW. Jew definition. Definition. Let's hear it.
Jew,
One more time.
Jew,
Okay, here we go. A member of the people and culture community whose traditional religion is Judaism and who trace their origins through the ancient Hebrew people of Israel to who do they? Abraham, right? That's what they're calling a Jew. Now, Abraham is connected to who? He's the father of Isaac and Jacob, right? And he also is what? A Jew, who is also what? Israel, right? So they're calling themselves Jews. Jews are anonymous. What's saying that they are connected through who? Let's type in the